This is swanky. This is lifestyle. This is culture. Welcome to the social center of everything culture. Culture Daily.
2 minutes past 9 here on Culture Daily, and yes, Just Vibes will be rolling tomorrow evening 8 p.m. Don't miss out on that premiere. Be part of the very first who get to see it here on 3 Music TV. In case you can't catch it on TV, well, it will be streamed on YouTube as well, so you can't afford to miss it, as well as Meta platforms, Facebook. You find it there. But before we jump into the conversation, today being Tuesday, we discuss and talk health. Before we get into the convo this morning, real quickly, I want to remind you that it's time to get rewarded as the next biggest sports betting influencer. Why and how? With Betway, well, you can place bets and share your codes with friends, fans, and followers. Now, if they place bets using the code, you earn a 4% wager of their wager. Beg your pardon. Now, it doesn't matter if it's a win or it's a loss. Once they use your code, you earn that 4% of their wager. Now, if they and the more people that use your code as well, the more you earn. Start betting, sharing, and winning with Bet Influencer. It's exclusive to Betway. Terms and conditions apply. It's regulated by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. So bet the responsible way. Betway, get way more. And Telecel has got good news for you. Let me tell you real quickly, right? So now, if you're looking for the best value data and voice offers that's tailored to your unique needs, well, Telecel does understand that everyone has got their own preferences, and that's why they have this unbeatable made-for-me bundle just made for you. Now, the made-for-me bundles are very affordable, customized data and voice packages personalized just for you. Simply dial the *530#, *530#. If that's long for you, just download the Telecel Play app from any of the Play stores and subscribe to your special made-for-me bundle. Telecel, connecting energies. Lenny?
Yes, and while we are connecting energies as well, when you link up with your people, you want to listen to sound from the very best devices. And so that is why we recommend Bang & Olufsen's Atelier 2 and 4 you. You get to experience sound like never before and become a part of the craft. You also get to design your own bespoke audio masterpiece and also select from exclusive creations tailored to your own style. With Bang & Olufsen, we say that you dream it and we crafted. Okay, you can find Bang & Olufsen at Airport City Atlantic Towers, or you can call 0201 694341 0209 001694341. I beg your pardon. Now, with Bang & Olufsen's Atelier as well, you know that whether a speaker that seamlessly fits your space or a statement piece that turns heads, you can get it all. Okay, like I said, just find them at Airport City Atlantic Towers. Bang & Olufsen Atelier, you dream it, we craft it.
Yep, halitosis always seems to be a problem. Bad breath, but just the tip of the iceberg. Bad breath, tooth decay, gum disease, lots of issues. But these happen because every time we eat food, sugars, etc. get trapped between our teeth, leading to all these issues. But Pepsodent is here to save the day and give us a solution and a prevention as well with Pepsodent Charcoal and Pepsodent Herbal. Now, Pepsodent Charcoal has zinc and fluoride to fill in all the tiny holes in your teeth and give you that white smile every time you open your mouth. Now you can also attend to any issues with your gum and repair any gum damage with Pepsodent Herbal that has the herbal extracts and the mints to give you that freshness when you're done. Now, if you need to speak to a dentist, it's also possible. Courtesy Pepsodent's 25-year relationship with the Ghana Dental Association. You can reach out toll free on 0800 161 000. Jay Foley asked a big question: have we called the number? Why not? It's free and you can talk to a dentist today. Now, just dial 0800 161 000. And if you need to pick up a tube of Pepsodent as well, you can do that in any shop across the whole country. Trust me, I doubt there's a shop that is not stocking Pepsodent, because of course we all know that with Pepsodent every smile matters.
Well, let's smile. Good morning. Anyways, well,
it's morning, no?
Yeah, it's morning. It's just I was going to say 20, but it's just 6 minutes past 9. This morning we're discussing. Well, some will say Vitiligo, some will say Vitiligo, but I mean, I'm very sure with regardless how you pronounce it, it still adds up to this or sums up to the same thing. Doc, good morning again.
Good morning.
We had great conversations last week. Last week,
Vertigo.
Yes, her name.
Her name.
No. Okay, that was last 2 weeks when the lady, what's her name?
Autism. We did the autism.
Yes. Aisha joined us here, and then last week we discussed vertigo. The V's are also still, only God knows what we'll be discussing next week with V. I don't want to say it, but Jason, I'm sure you have an idea of the things that you want to be discussing
At
around.
all.
Yeah,
at all.
Oh, we've done vertigo. We've done vitiligo. We're about to do
Those are the only V's I know.
vitiligo.
Those are the only
Next week.
V's,
Yeah.
Next week we'll
Varicose
do
vein.
veins.
Yeah,
Next week we'll do
veins.
veins. Yeah.
Vascular, something else.
Yeah, veins.
Vascular condition.
Doc, it's
Yeah.
not about veins this week, but then if you had to touch on veins real quickly before I start the vertigo conversation.
It's about to go
veins
down.
are types, right? There are types of veins. Or
It's about to go down.
It's about to what?
Go down.
Oh, there are types of veins. It
types
depends
of
on which
veins.
part of the body it is. The name is different.
oh, okay. So it's not just like one vein type moving around.
No, so they are not. So you break down veins and the branches like a tree. So it branches.
So the arteries also veins, types of veins, or they're different.
Arteries are different.
But I hear when arteries are injured, it's much more dangerous. If there's any injury,
what do you
to
think?
an
What do you
artery.
think arteries do? What do they transport?
I don't. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I don't
Blood.
know. Blood.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
Blood.
which type of blood?
Serious blood. More serious blood. If this kind of questions way, if rather answer for your the answer, then
The question you want to ask
Look,
about
see
veins,
me,
can
see
you
me.
ask with your full chest so that we move on?
No.
See me after class.
see me after serious
Ask with
blood.
your full chest.
What do the arteries
so they
transport?
carry oxygenated blood.
Oxygenated blood.
Yes.
But the bigger veins or the veins carry
Deoxygenated blood.
okay.
So it means that one.
Pure pump and one is exhaust.
okay.
Yes. So one carries oxygen around your body to supply all your organs. So
That's the
vertically-
artery.
That's the artery, and one takes all the after is the empty one takes it back to your lungs for it to be oxygenated.
Oh. So wait. So if you inject the vein, it's
Right.
going directly to the heart first.
No,
Lung.
lung first.
The vein.
Yes,
What is it going to do in the lung?
because
The
it
oxygen.
doesn't contain oxygen to get oxygen. So let's say the filling station is actually your lungs.
Okay. Sorry, viewers, we are discussing something different this morning, but I'm just touching on this lightly, okay? Please. I know we didn't prepare for this, but I'm just touching on it lightly. We'll come to it as a conversation later on, but just as a matter of interest.
So the good thing you should also notice that veins are usually closer to your skin than your arteries, based on
Yes.
protection. So you have varicose, they're superficial varicose veins. So that's why somebody's legs or thighs you can see them when a person light skin or basic
Or other organs.
other
Sometimes on the side of the head.
head. Yeah, you can
Scalp.
see. Yeah.
Or other organs.
Yeah, like biceps.
I said whatever he wants to ask, he should just
Even on
ask
your
it
feet.
with his full chest so that we
Look.
move on.
So I'm sometimes also in male erection, you see.
Finally to the question.
Oh, no, I'm just
I knew that
So
what
that- so
you
no,
wanted
so
to
now-
ask.
asking a
so
very
now-
serious question. I'm asking a very serious question. Yes. Doc, we didn't prepare for this, I know, but I'm just touching on it lightly, if you understand.
Yeah, a lot of touching. Yeah.
So,
You see, this
so-
your question is the root of all evil.
so veins do exist in the, because you see the manhood, the male whatever, it expands and then it contracts.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering whether the veins also do seam and such.
So-
Because when sometimes it's at its fullest point, you see the veins or you see these, whatever it is, very visible, strong.
Okay, so if you're talking about the penis for erection, you need an artery.
Okay.
It comes from the
So if you actually wait there's
So no, the reason why your penis is expanding is because it's filled with cheese-like structures. So they are sort of like, if you've seen the honeycomb, the honeycomb structure. So there's not really a blood vessel in there. It's just a honeycomb structure that blood pumps and fills that space.
Okay.
Then makes the erection.
Okay.
Right. So it's not like a blood vessel that is passing through it that makes it no.
But
It's a
some
honeycomb structure.
men have got, you see the vein structure like, or they're not veins.
The arteries.
They're arteries.
Yeah, they are the same arteries that supply those honeycomb structures.
Okay. So it is these arteries that
Yeah, so
expand
it takes
to
blood
become-
from your head, rushes it down to your penis, because that's why they
Blood
believe
from
that.
your head.
Yeah. That's why people believe that. That's why when that happens, people can't think.
The blood has
yeah, reposition. That where it's supposed to be used.
It's not there.
It's not there.
Makes sense. Makes a lot of sense.
Now it makes sense to you now. So if you want something, if the blood comes back, just know that the thought is you won't get it. The thought is going to change.
That's why some women make their request when the blood
has rushed out
from the head to
some
down.
understand the science
It's
of
the
it.
root of bad decisions.
Yeah, the root of bad decisions. Yes, that's why the Bible in its wisdom says flee. In that situation, you can't think. What do you think the Bible says? Put your head. When it happens like that, you're in trouble. Run away.
Be going. But do you even have the sense to run? That's another question.
Answer is a short word. You can say R-U-N, run.
Have you heard? Do you have your answer now?
Yeah. So is this quite interesting that arteries really expand to form those structures on the penis when it's at its full erection? It's quite interesting to see that the amount of blood that is needed to fill up, because like Razak and Yakubu, that we use and we used, such to describe, might be needing a lot of blood, to make
One day we're going to get a lawsuit from the coalition of Razaks and Yakubus. Yes, Razak and Yakubu Association of Ghana.
Razak.
Yeah. Well, with that out of the way, I mean, it just came up because we're discussing related organs and the vein came up, but this one we're discussing vitiligo or vitiligo. I don't know how it would be.
I think the word is vitiligo.
Vitiligo.
Yeah.
Vitiligo. So
Vitiligo.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Doc, we've heard about this. We know it's got to do with skin, in one way or the other. But what is this vitiligo or vitiligo?
It's a skin condition. It's a skin condition where you lose melanin. Basically, the melanin is what gives your skin that dark tone.
Okay.
Pigmentation. So when you talk about layers of your skin, you're going to talk about the dermis, epidermis, dermis, and then hypodermis.
Okay. So Doc, please, just for the sake of those who don't know, because I mean, we know it says a skin condition, but can we just run through these skin layers and what's each layer, if we do know what these layers do and represent?
All right. So when you we take a cross section of your skin.
Yes.
Right. From what you can see right now to the deep tissue going closer to your bone. We have your epidermis, you have your dermis, and then your hypodermis, right? The dermis is what we talk about a lot, right? In the sense that your epidermis contains two layers. We call the keratinocyte and the melanocyte.
Okay.
Right? So you have your keratinocyte is what you see.
The one
that takes a lot of insult. Like when you are abusing your skin, is the keratinocyte that actually. So you hear the word keratin which in carrots and right. So that's the closest one. Then below it, we're still talking about the epidermis. Below it is your melanocyte.
Okay.
Which contains melanin.
Okay.
Right, which is the dark pigmentation that shields your skin and absorbs UV radiation from the sun. So it transports the melanocytes, they are produced there and sent into your keratin cells, and then it serves as a cover, a shield around them.
Okay.
So there are types, there are shades of the melanin.
Okay.
You have the dark red brownish one, which gives people the white people like your skin tone is not as dark as ours. Where our melanin is a bit darker, shade darker. So there are three shades of it.
Okay.
Right. So it's the same melanin that is produced. Everybody has it, but the shade of it gives the skin.
Bro, racism don't make no sense.
It doesn't make sense exactly.
Racism never.
Because the same structure, it's like the same paint that's been diluted.
There's just different color.
But yours is like someone's
This one is
lighter,
like lighter, someone's is
thicker.
darker. That's it.
Charlie.
And because of our part of the world, because you are getting a lot of assault from the sun and UV radiation, your body needs to produce more of the melanin, which accumulated pigmentation causes what? Darker shades.
Bro.
Accumulated pigments.
Because you need more to protect your underlying. So that's why last time we did the bleaching, right? Skin tone, and we mentioned that you are taking away all these keratinocytes.
Okay, so
going
persons
down
like
to
Jason
melanin.
who are light skinned or fair, as you call them,
they have melanin, but in a different shade. They can have the same volume as I have a shade of it. They have.
So a white person who is like considered white also has melanin.
He has melanin, but in a lighter shade and a reduction. Yes.
Okay.
Doctor,
So when we
I've
say
lied to him and say that they don't have it, so that he will feel very.
but that's the thing, melanin is usually associated with dark skin.
That's what people are made to believe.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I have a short video.
But you've seen these things on social
We
media.
give a short video for it to explain it further why, and it's small animation that shows it, which I'll show later on. So all of us have melanin, but the question is 3 shades of it.
Okay.
So you are the second
That's
shade.
the
You-
epidermis,
so-
dermis
So,
and the
so
hypodermis.
that shade is in your epidermis,
Okay.
which is controlled by keratinocyte and melanocytes. That two structures, the cell structures over there, they are in your epidermis. Then you go to your dermis, and you're entering your hypodermis, which have the root of your hair cells, the root of your hair, where it comes from, to project outside the skin, right? Then you have sweat cells, and then you have sebaceous glands, like fat cells, that the glands that explode, like when you're sweating, they produce all that. So the more you wear off one of them, you're going to get close to the next one. Whereas I mentioned that the first layer is supposed to protect you against UV. That's like how shall I? It's like the doormat of your skin. You rub your feet on it, every rubbish goes onto it. Before you go into the building, where you have like a cleaner mat in there, like your rag, that's your center table, that will probably be your melanocyte. That's the level. So you see how it works?
So people who bleach literally feel
So
like
right now, it's like, so somebody who has bleached basically is saying that I walk on mud, I go and walk on all this rubbish, and I enter the house directly and rub it on your rag.
White sofa.
On your white sofa.
It's good to explain it like this,
Yeah.
You right? So it's like somebody, an investor comes to your house, skips, because you didn't put a doormat there, skips that, goes to your white Egyptian woolen this one rag that is in your living room, and then like wraps his feet all over it.
Wow.
For Instagram likes.
So for bleaching,
How your reaction would be? Just
so for bleaching, you are wearing off the
dermis, the epidermis. Sorry,
the
epidermis.
first one we are seeing,
the
here, the
keratinocytes
first-
and melanocytes.
yeah,
Yes, the
layer.
layer, right?
But is it that it is tougher? So if you wear it off, it's going to
It's
be
tougher.
A problem?
It's supposed to. That's why I use the word assault. It's supposed to resist everything. It's supposed to take on everything, scratches, burns, everything. It takes all that. So if you look at the anatomy of it and you look at the image of it, you realize that when it comes to keratinocytes, as it moves from melanocytes to the keratinocytes, melanocytes seem a bit wider, star cells, right? As you get closer to your keratinocytes, it becomes very compact. Very thin layer cells that are very compact, like
Okay,
like
Doc, I want to ask. We are going to come down now. In understanding this, we are going to come down to the vitiligo.
vitiligo,
Yeah,
yeah.
but there are other parts of the body that may seem not to have these layers. I beg to differ. So, let's say your shin. Your that's your knee area.
It has
So
it.
your it's like it's just bone and
Skin layer.
skin. Yes.
yes. So usually
Your manhood is not like it's just bone. It seems like bone.
all
and-
of them have it.
Yeah.
All
wow.
of them have these three layers.
Why? Yeah.
Because when you get to the hypodense, from the hypodense, you are getting to your fatty sheets and protein.
that means
the
it's very
muscles,
thin then.
It's very thin. So they are thinner in certain areas. They are thicker in certain areas. Right. What makes it thick is the amount of fat that is below that hypodense. Hypodermis.
Hey,
sorry.
then, Doc, butt cheeks would have a lot of dermis things.
Not all, some.
Not all. Not some. Some have a, because it's a what is it? Gluteus maximus.
Yep. What else?
But us, the scientific word is gluteus maximus. The word maximus, gluteus maximus.
From this day onwards, I want to encourage all young people to use gluteus maximus.
Yeah, that
Yes.
is.
I'll be like, girl, your
Use it
gluteus
for-
maximus is on fire. Damn, look at that gluteus maximus, girl.
GM.
You are talking about the people who chose the 500,000 over 750K.
Yes. Your what's
Gluteus maximus.
Gluteus.
Yes.
How can we like
Maximus.
showing your gludi max?
Your gluteus maximus is
G-max.
beautiful.
Your G max.
Wow.
Permission to fall out.
Let me fall down first. Let's
Look at the
see.
come out.
Let's believe you.
on.
Let's believe you.
So for the skin layer in the gluteus maximus, it's also that means is it that it's thicker or it's just that's the one is just filled with things?
Yeah, it's filled with a lot of fat.
Fat.
Sorry, a lot of fat. Yes.
Okay. So butt is just fat.
It's basically fat. The breast is also made up of fat. You have fat and glands. When we did the breast cancer awareness, we talked about that there are glands and then there are fatty that feel this. So
What
if
does
you
that
take the
mean?
breast, take the penis,
we
right?
like about all this then.
The gluteus maximus.
Yes.
Is very well configured. Highly.
Tell us more. See
I
the
was, tell-
smile
I was
that's
telling the
on his
boys
face.
yesterday that gravity doesn't even like support that. Like Zinizio was under an apple and it fell down, but gluteus maximus is always maximizing. It's on
What
point.
amount of
How do you
structures?
do it?
No, I'm not part.
The amount
I'm
of
not
structures
part.
that are holding that down. The amount
see?
of tendons and muscles that have to hold that in
Masterclass
place.
on gluteus maximus.
No, but
brought you by
the problem with
Cyril.
that, you see, when we talk about
Dear God.
Dear God.
Cancel the show.
Straight. I
Years
agree.
ago, like now some likely that zap you.
Thank you.
And the thing about vitiligo is that the weird thing about it is that about 1% globally, 1% of the population has it. And you develop it either by the age of 40 or half of it by 20.
1% is not a small number.
It's not a small number at all. The global, you look at the global.
yeah.
So So if you look at how it starts, even the first thing we realize the cause, there's no really defined cause, but we realize that it can be inherent, like genetics. If somebody in your family has the chance that you get it, so you can have twins having it. You can have twins having it. You can have.
So based on the look, the
Yeah.
look of it, does it have any other implications?
Yes, because
the first thing we see is.
Do we have an
How is
image
it?
of vitiligo
Yeah.
that we can put on the screen?
Yeah, we even there was this video that I wanted
To
people
show, yes,
to
if
show.
we can go to that first, producer, if we can just get that video and okay, and so we can just understand, because it's good that we understand the structure of the skin and even various parts of the body, and then based on that, it's easier to understand how this condition comes about. But let's just watch the video as it's ready on the screen now.
In its color,
So we picked the part that we needed most from this doc. I mean, understanding the
because
structure.
the DNA, understand it. And then the last part, it says when you take away these layers, UV rays can have direct this one because there are DNA structures under your skin.
Yeah.
So you can lead you to have skin cancer because the DNA structure, the UV radiation will change the DNA structure of your skin.
Okay, plain devil's advocate. You bleach, right?
Right.
Nobody
Right,
should bleach,
yeah.
but you're constantly in
Right.
AC under shade, finding the best way to stay out of the sun.
Right.
Does that help? If that's someone's excuse.
It doesn't help.
After they've bleached.
Yeah,
After the
like I'm indoors, I'm in air conditioning from home to the office, so I can
People
bleach
say that
because we're
even
talking
if
about
you're
UV
indoors,
rays.
you still have to use sunscreen.
You need sunscreen.
Indoors?
Yeah.
Well, I never knew about that.
Because when you talk about UV radiation, people think it's only when you're really exposed. That's
Yeah.
direct UV radiation. But UV radiation can be in various forms, even through your glass, your windows.
Oh, Charlie. So it's a no.
No matter how tainted your car is, there's light coming in, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now to this condition, understanding how the condition comes about of vitiligo.
Yeah, so vitiligo is a loss of this layer, which we call patches, we call macules. So these patches form. So you basically, they start from your limbs, your hands, and they can be localized, stay there, and not spread to other places. But sometimes they can spread to your genital organs, can spread to the inner thighs, can spread to your butt, your navel, and then you can spread to your face, your chest, right? Our next video that a producer will show is we took about 4 people, and I wanted to address that whole thing about racism. So this video addresses racism from the get-go, how no matter what race you are, you can be affected by vitiligo. Whether you're Hispanic, Black American, Black, Asian, European, whatever it is, you can be affected by it. Which gives you to tell you that it tells you that whatever it is, racism is not fundamentally skin deep. It's just a construct that people use as a way to just be rude and be
So Doc, understanding it properly, it's a condition. Is it the wearing of the first layer of skin that we see exposed to?
So
Is
the
it
skin, the layer that has hair?
The layer that has hair,
Yes,
okay,
yes.
that we see.
So it turns
Epidermis.
white. So it turns white.
Starts turning white.
Yes, starts turning white.
Is it because of maybe the lack of melanin
Loss
or
of melanin.
loss of
Less of
melanin?
melanin, yeah.
Yes.
So the loss of melanin in that area. So you realize that you can have it in patches in the sense that next to it can have melanin.
Okay.
Right. So the understanding of it is we don't have much research on it to understand why this is happening.
Up to now.
All we know is that there's loss of melanin in patches. So though you are lighting, you can have vitiligo.
Yeah.
Where you can get whiter than the way you are right now. Even white people,
white
they can
person,
get
that's
vitiligo.
what I'm about to say.
They can.
And we don't know what causes it.
But
That's
do you
interesting.
start to see the patches immediately?
You can even see it in your oral cavity, this part, the inner part of your lip.
Oh.
People can start having it there, the gums. Because all these are skin, and some of them contain melanin. So you can start in your oral cavity, some starts on their chest. But most of the time it starts on their hands. Okay. And then you can hear all these derogatory. So we talk about the mental aspect of this condition. The derogatory names people call these people. You can hear somebody being called a cow, looking like a cow. Because you know the patchy nature of a cow skin is our part of the world that we don't really have that. right?
The black and white. The black and white.
Sokoto Gudali and all those magic.
Isn't that good?
All the things that we learned in right?
Yeah.
So
I really wonder who named that goes.
And then go make you learn this thing. Charlie.
No, but you don't mean you did something for here, no.
Sokoto
For all you
Gudali.
know, the other exams you wrote, bro, it was just for this moment.
But Sokoto Gudali is funny, but Lewandowski is not funny.
Yeah,
Well, it is.
Mkhitaryan is not funny.
yeah,
Right.
it's not funny.
No, but Sokoto Gudali
No,
is the
for
name
real,
of a
serious,
goat.
it's not funny.
All I'm saying is that, anyway,
It's not funny.
I digress.
The
Let me not.
pronunciation of the sound comes
we
off.
pronounce it. We pronounce it to be
As
the
it
first-
is with our accent.
Yes, when you hear a Western person pronounce
Sakura
chichi
Gda.
fly, when we are being taught chichi fly, and we are doing chichi fly, and that like monkeys in
fly.
They
class.
are saying Tsetsefly.
Yeah, when a white person pronounces it,
So
you
Gda.
can see that there is sense in the
Hippopotamus.
pronunciation.
Same way,
They'll
if
say-
Agba for here,
So
you
Gda.
go with taking me. But if white person, oh, that's his language. You just made a mistake.
But it's his language.
They say- Exactly.
language.
So if it's not my language, why should you laugh at me?
Even if you speak to you,
more
I
so.
will laugh at you.
We just butcher
Sakura.
the chimpanzee. That's like, bro, like,
Yeah.
hey, what's this?
the emphasis on the word, the animal, the way it looks.
Chimpanzee.
It's not a language, bro.
The monkey
The
said we have to
papa
call. If you went to the zoo, you say hey, chimpanzee. The monkey said go.
It's not a language. It's not my language.
So, all right.
Asamoah is accepted. Like, not accepted, but it's like, oh, that's not his language. If I butcher a white man's name.
No, you see, he didn't bother to learn to pronounce Asamoah Gyan,
Right.
but you bothered to learn to
See, I
pronounce
didn't bother.
Lewandowski.
I've said it.
That's what I'm saying. You went the extra mile to know
Learn
how
that.
to
Sakura
pronounce.
Gadali.
Yeah.
I gotta go.
Yeah, Gadali. So
Not funny.
Okay, so yeah, Doc, we're talking about
So when we come back
these
to it,
patches, yes.
we can ask who is at risk of vitiligo, right?
Yes.
Anybody with
everybody,
skin.
everybody with skin. As long as you have skin, you are you're at risk.
Yeah.
Remove your
Yeah,
hands.
but,
there.
but higher risk is people who have autoimmune conditions like Addison's disease and they have anemia, diabetes, type 1, lupus, psoriasis, rheumatoid arthritis. Now, autoimmune diseases are these where your immune system is fighting against you. So you have somebody with a condition where the immune system is fighting against the melanin, the cells that produce melanin. So you can have the person having vitiligo in that sense. That one, there's nothing we can do about it. It's an
And-
autoimmune condition.
And Doc, I also want to know, are there early onsets? Do you see it when the person is also really young? Because in some people as well, for the few people that I've heard talk about it, they say that it starts when they are grown. Right, and I'm like, didn't they see any signs of it whatsoever?
So,
you don't.
Yeah, you don't see that because realize that I mentioned the stats that it's either 40 by 40 you've seen it, or under 20.
And most autoimmune.
Under 40
So
or
half of the
20?
population under 20. This 1%, half of it will probably see it under 20. Between the
So
ages of
above 40, you can't get it.
you can, but what I'm trying to say is that if by 40 you should have seen it.
Okay.
If it's going to be after
Okay.
40, the chance that it's not going to. If you are good, you are good.
Jay is good, man.
But can it be just one patch?
It can be one patch. There are types.
Okay.
So
So
there
you're
are
good.
various types of it. So you can have you can have somebody with one patch. You can have somebody with different patches in different places. Then you can have
that won't spread.
it won't spread.
Okay.
Then you can have some in segments where it's only on the hands. It's different patches, but it's only on the hands.
But
It's not anywhere else, right? So you can have only one patch being in one segment as one type. Then you have multiple patches in the same segment by concentrated in one segment as the second type. Then you can have patches in different parts of the body, in generalized areas, right?
But the lack of or loss of this melanin, is there any dieting or anything that can, boost the formation of melanin?
No,
Nothing.
there's treatment for it, but there's no really side effect of it. There's no terminal like you're going to die from it or no.
So
it's just the so when you chose this topic, you added the mental aspect of it,
Yes.
which was important because in the sense that it's not really a death warrant that you're going to die from it. No, it's just that it makes people not want to come out. It makes people not want to be in public anymore.
Psychological effects are more
more dangerous than we can lead to the person taking their life.
Doc, so when now this starts forming or this loss happens, does it come with any form of pain or any different feeling?
No.
On that part of the body?
No.
So
no
it's
loss
benign,
of
like
sensation. It's just there.
It's there.
Yeah. Oh, but I like the word benign. That's a very good word.
He's very scientific this morning.
Yeah,
This morning?
Yeah,
Jay, this morning?
yeah, he's being very, very scientific. You know, but it ends.
After this morning.
So it's really that's the difficult part of it, because you have a condition where it's not itchy. There's nothing.
Doesn't this make it scarier though? For people to like have no feelings towards what's going to happen, have no itches,
you have no control over it.
No control.
So some do this laser techniques or treatments where they actually get rid of everything else.
Wow, to make this. Oh.
To get an even.
Join the problem.
Yeah, to join the problem.
That's wild.
Do we have images of how vitiligo?
There was the model. I've forgotten her name. The one.
Do we have images?
Yeah,
Well,
she's
she
huge
became
now.
really, she became really, really
Whitney
popular.
Hello.
Yeah.
Is that
She's
her name?
huge now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She brought advocacy to some of these things, which was really helpful.
Shout out to Lupita.
Yeah.
Oh.
Doc, you have another video to share. I was
Yes,
asking
yes,
if
yes.
that's all that will show.
Yeah, that will show, yeah.
Can we have that video on the screen to watch it? You know, I've come across persons as well who have, I don't know whether to say, suffered or have gotten this condition. And if you haven't, well, this is a clear example.
I'm Indian with white patches.
I'm an African American with white patches.
I am Hispanic with white patches.
I am black with white patches.
I'm Caucasian with white patches.
I am Asian with white patches.
I'm human with white patches.
They've heard it all.
It looks like your skin is coming off.
You look like a cow.
I'm burnt.
I'm ugly.
You're an alien.
The effects are devastating.
Why me? Why do I have it?
It made me feel bad, really sad.
So I didn't know what the kids at school would say to me.
That made me feel ashamed of myself.
It was more just like a shock. I was doing good. Am I that bad?
What they have is
Vitiligo.
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 Vitiligo. We're twins and we have vitiligo. What is vitiligo?
I have absolutely.
Well, so I'm sure now you're probably going like, wait, yes, this condition, regardless, race, height, size, personality, job, anything, you can still bank balance. Yeah, you can still suffer as such. It's that. Then now to the mental bit of it, it makes you feel, if you're not strong-willed, you just might feel different from society. And you might lose confidence and self-love.
Because the first thing you look at yourself before you walk out any door is to look at yourself.
Yeah,
that's the first part or pillar in your life that you
literally see your skin every day.
Every day. So being told by somebody else, being made to feel inadequate, unaccepted. He mentioned a word. It feels like your skin. People make you feel like your skin has fallen off. The staring, the questions. And most of the questions, some of them don't even have the answers to it. Because we in the healthcare fraternity don't have answers to some of these questions.
That's how does this come about?
How is this happening? Right? And it's so rare, like 1%, right? It's a big number when you look at it globally.
Yeah.
But if you look at part of the world, you hardly see it. Right? And most that will have it to probably be wearing long sleeves and covering it up.
Yeah.
But certain areas that you have it, you mentioned that the Caucasian kid, how does this Caucasian kid have it? But when they zoom closer, you realize that his waistline, so that kid could wear a shirt and you won't know. But the darker you are, the more visible it is.
It is, yeah.
I think the biggest tragedy with vitiligo is insensitive human beings.
Yeah.
Because the condition itself is nothing. Apart from the people who are going to be mean to you and discriminate against you and call you
because people don't
names
understand
and
what
all
it
that.
is.
It's really not a thing. I could be yellow and you could still be nice to me.
Yeah.
Right.
But Doc, has it always been there? Has it
It's always been there. It's always been there. It's always been there, and it's been attributed to a lot of things. Yeah. Especially a lot of myths around this thing.
Especially in Africa, I'm sure.
Part of the world, especially. Some say you are using the wrong cream. Some say you are bleaching and it didn't go well. You see, that's the first thing that people go to.
Okay.
The bleaching, it didn't go well.
Okay, so now that you've mentioned that, is there a possibility that someone has the condition, or maybe does not? You said, okay, everyone can get it. So is there a possibility that the person is not seeing any patches whatsoever,
right,
and then starts using a cream
that causes it to happen?
That
exactly. Yes,
that.
that's one of the causes of it. Certain creams that contain certain pigmentations and certain bleaching effects can cause that.
Trigger it.
Can trigger it. So you can start with not having it to you causing. There's even the mental aspect of it causing it. Yeah, certain emotions. Yes.
What do you mean?
They
Like
believe that. They believe that what is autoimmune? Any emotional or physical stress can trigger it.
Bring down the autoimmune for us.
Oh.
So
in any part of your body, it can just trigger and then.
Yes, some say they didn't have it until they were moving houses, and they lost their job and they were a bit depressed and all that, and that caused it. Your body is always looking for a way to deal with some of these things. And unfortunately for us, the immune system sits on top of all these. So in order for you to send your immune system to go and fight a condition or something, a signal needs to be sent that you are sick here, and it sends soldiers to go and fight it, right? Now, when we say autoimmune, it means that this is not a problem, but your body is fighting it.
Itself.
So stress is a big thing.
It's a serious thing.
Stress can cause a lot.
It's a cascade effect. When I use that word, I use like you are playing dominoes.
Yeah, it leads to something else,
something
else, and something else.
And the worst part about stress is that it's so smart that it's like a poison that is inherent.
I like that it's smart.
It's so smart that it's a poison that you can't taste, you can't smell it. It's not visible in the body. Because when it starts causing a problem, it pushes
so
it
Jay
out.
might be super stressed right now, but he's
super
not
stressed, but he'll be smiling with
crazy
you and doing so much.
Yeah,
and then,
right now, bro.
Yes, and the thing is that we won't trigger it. It won't trigger stress. Stress is not like a condition. I'm stressed, then it's a disease. I write it. No, it's going to trigger something else, which I'm going to diagnose using certain tests and say, oh, you have this condition, but the root causes were stress.
Yeah.
Lack of sleep leads to something else. Lack of sleep can lead you to forgetfulness. Lack of sleep can lead to right now, you can't focus, which leads to something else, which leads you to loss of thought and other things, which is depression. So, one factor, one seed that bears so much fruit. But when we come, you find that seed.
Wow. Okay, so two things I also want to ask. Let's just be clear. It's not contagious.
No, it's
you
not.
can't shake somebody and let's clear
no,
that.
It's not. That's the myth.
Yeah.
You don't think you can inherit it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you have a partner who has it, and you have a child, there's chance that your children can pass it, you can get it.
But what for somebody who's never had in their family? Is there a possibility I just might develop?
So something called what's that?
Generation.
It can skip a generation. There's a word for that where a certain condition can hide. It can even skip generations, and then maybe the last person can get it.
Get it. Okay.
Like recessive.
Yeah, recessive. That's the word. So, wow. Today,
recessive gene. Yeah.
It's a recessive gene. It's gonna have a recessive gene.
I went straight to my secondary school. I remembered.
You went to secondary school. You were just born. Oh, wow.
Oh.
And your first life.
The last thing, albinos are not
different thing altogether.
Different thing altogether. Okay, so let's.
Albinism is different.
Okay,
so it's a genetic thing altogether.
Okay.
That one how?
Albinism. But that's what I said.
You see, it's not his language.
I said albinism. What did I say?
Please
I said albinism, but then like something small B was going
Is the ism
I can hardly breathe though.
No, there was small Vitiligo on the albinism.
I had albinism, but
Abinasim.
Abinasim, no. It prohibits the production of the melanin. It doesn't produce at all.
At all.
Okay.
But here's the case where it's been produced and everything was normal.
Can albinism be developed the way we're talking about? So that's straight from
you are born with it. You come no melanin.
Okay.
Without the use of harsh creams, you can't.
Yeah, because you realize that in the picture, the people with vitiligo, they had dark hair.
Yes.
That color you're seeing is melanin.
Yeah.
Okay.
The complexion of your hair
is
melanin.
Even with the hair, some people with vitiligo have
blonde.
No, it starts to
white patches. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say.
In the hair as well.
So you get it. So that's why you can even see it in your pubic areas. So it's basically trying to tell you that.
God forbid, but if you get it, that's the best place to get it.
Actually, yeah.
When you wear your pants.
Yeah, sure.
There's
a more bikini situation.
And your Maximus, what's Maximus?
Me, at my age, I've never worn bikini.
Gluteus Maximus.
How could you forget?
I said, my age, I'm not one bikini. The other I'm going to wear bikini. Because that's the reason now I'm going to wear bikini.
So,
well, I think you can do the swimming trunks.
Albinos don't produce any
Melanin.
melanin. Albinos don't produce any
Yes,
melanin.
it's a genetic
Hence
condition that
the
produces
reason why their color is such.
So they too, they fall into the same family of skin conditions where people shouldn't be derogatory in their comments.
Yes.
That was stupid thing of saying that please stop.
What does that do to an albino when you don't produce melanin? Is there any, aside the significant, visible effect we see, are they in any way maybe either immune or non-immune to something, prone to something?
They are prone to skin conditions because the first thing I mentioned was that melanin serves as a protection against UV radiation and the destruction of your skin cells and the DNA in the long term and all that. But they lack of, they are very susceptible to a lot of skin conditions, skin ulcers and skin cancers because they have no shield. So they can do artificial by using the skin sunscreen. They can use sunscreen a lot to try and serve. So the sunscreen will serve as that protection for them.
The barrier.
Yeah, the barrier.
Wearing long t-shirts, is that's
another way of
wearing hats and stuff.
So they do that. They do that because of, unfortunately, they have a propensity that they don't have that, something like that. Right? You get it? It's not because by choice.
Yeah.
It's because something that's happening to them that's making them. It's like you feeling cold and you wearing a woolen hoodie or something.
Woolen.
I said you wearing a woolen.
Woolen.
Yeah, I had woolen a woolen.
No, you're wearing a woolen.
It's nice language, people. The gammon, right?
Black of him, I'm missing the
No, I will wear it.
So when we claim, you see, we always talk about, since we started talking about it, Jay is always thinking about what you might think is normal. What you might think is abnormal to somebody is actually maybe
that's their normal.
That's their normal. You get it? So you have to be very careful about the things you say to people. The whole body shaming thing, skin shaming. And when we talk about racism, we are quick to say the white man is racist and all that, but we forget that we do it here.
Hey.
Yeah, I feel blacks are even more racist than
Yeah, I call it.
That's true.
When I was in Asia, right? When I was in Asia, I stayed in China. I realized that they used to do that thing where they can touch your skin and rub it off, and do this, and ask you questions like, "Is it because you don't shower? Is it because you eat too much chocolate?"
What?
Yeah, that's curiosity. And I used to think that that's an ignorant racist because he doesn't understand. He's trying to understand why you are different from them. Because that's a different thing altogether.
In this day and age as well, you can read.
Yes, but you see, they just got exposed to the Western world recently. China just got exposed and allowing people to come in. So a lot of people are still trying to grasp the modernity of society. But you come to a part of the world where you know better. You are like me. And then you find it in a way to actually point your finger at somebody and make derogatory comments to the person. It's uncalled for.
Yeah.
You need a knock on the head because something is not right.
So, just drifting off from vitiligo for a second into burns.
Right.
When the skin is exposed to heat, you categorize them. I'm just speaking about some of the things that can affect the skin. It's exposed to heat. We have first degree, second degree, third degree, and PhD and co. I just want to understand that, because I'll come back to vitiligo in a bit, but I want to understand at which point do you consider which burn as a first degree? Is it when it just affects the epidermis, or maybe it's further?
Yeah. So when you talk about degrees of burn, first degree, second degree, and third degree burns, it depends on how deep the burn is going. How many structures are involved. So if you are doing your epidermis, which is the first layer, you're doing a keratinocyte and melanocyte, that's involved. You're talking about your first degree burn.
Okay.
If you go beyond that, your dermis and your good hypodense tissue, then you're talking about second degree. Then when underlying cell structures are involved, like your tissues and your fatty cells and your underlying like skin muscle cells are involved, then you're talking about third degree.
Okay.
Because then the degrees will then tell you the healing properties.
Okay.
So if it's third degree, it will be slower to heal because it has to come all the way up, down to up. Whereas the layer that changes a lot is that epidermis. Changes a lot because as you shower, that layer changes, so you shed them off. So when you have a burn there, it's easy for that to recover faster. For new cells to be produced. As you go lower, it will require treatment and a lot of other things to try and encourage the cells. Yeah, longer time to heal.
I digress a bit, but I'll come back and I'll tell you why I asked. The again, lack of or loss of melanin is causing this change in color. Is it that the melanocytes have that only sole duty of creating a pigmentation for us,
right,
and nothing else?
Nothing
so
else.
if they are not even able to do it, it is of no harm to the body or the skin in any way whatsoever.
Yes, so that's when you're talking about somebody with albinism, where the lack of the melanocytes are not able to produce the melanin to protect them, right? So then they become, they go into, basically they're just there, right?
Dormant,
they are dormant. They are not. They are inactive. If research is going to a fact that people are trying to find a way to trigger it, because it's a DNA level, you have to go to the DNA level to trigger that system that will tell that, okay, I want you to be producing this. Because that signal is not there. It's not going to happen.
Okay.
We take a lot of things in the body for granted. A lot of things are signals. There's codes. That's why people use the DNA as a code. If you don't have that genetic code in there, when you talk about genetics in depth, that's why a lot of scientists in genetic coding are trying to find a way to remove disease codes. If you are in your family where you have a genetic DNA structure in your family that gives you diabetes, hypertension, or
can
go in there,
change it.
So they're trying to do that. They're trying to do that DNA restructuring.
Cloning and all those things.
Yeah, so they'll take that DNA structure out, sequencing. They'll put a new one in there.
Oh wow!
The things you see in movies.
So then, why are they?
If you lose one of them, you can determine how you look physically.
Yeah. So why aren't we able to trigger the melanin to, the melanocytes to start working?
We are not there. That's a medical advancement. That's medical advancement, like a code. Like you are taking a fundamental level, telling your that's being able. If you're able to do that, it means that it's somebody who's white. You can tell the person. You can make the person darker.
There's a 1% difference between the code of humans and pigs. And that's why they do transplant.
Yeah, they do transplant.
That's how thin the line is.
Are we closer to pigs than to apes?
Yeah.
For really?
Yeah, genetically.
Jason, make I look you something so.
So where
the ones that they'll give you a pig
is this
organ,
racism?
We can give you a pig heart. We can give you a pig heart.
Give you a pig heart and you'll be fine
for a while. So
crazy.
For a while or forever?
Not forever. Like
not forever. Nobody lives forever. But what I mean is that like
you function.
All things being
function. Pig heart.
Means that being closer to pigs than apes will bust my brain. To be honest.
Doc, I tell you,
because they work on that.
Put them a heart for this place, papa.
What their heart?
For this room inside, we was checked some hearts, papa, because Charlie,
the pork lenny chop.
Charlie.
Wow, I was just waiting for a name to drop.
That's the way to a hat, right?
Yeah.
Okay, nice
pork
one.
chops.
I see. Interesting. Well done.
Job. Oh, interesting. So pigs and humans have got something major.
Too many things. 99%, bro.
Maybe that's what I'm probably.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Do you know how crazy that is?
And do you know how crazy? Do you know what is crazier? Exorcisms always use pigs, and most times in religious doctrine, when demons leave human bodies,
they enter pigs.
They go to pigs.
Yeah. That's why some people don't eat.
Yeah, that's how
you know
the spiritual and the
her understanding of why we are closer to pigs. It makes sense why some people are dirty.
I'm just saying. If you are closer.
Doc, there's one last thing I wanted to know.
Sometimes when Lenny talks, I go on Google and I just.
I mean, for those who don't take pork, it's understandable.
Yeah.
When they carry such this thing. But I mean, I eat it.
Connoisseur, you're a connoisseur.
Some people also say that. I think in the Bible, somewhere in the Bible, it said that Jesus cast out evil spirits and cast it into the pig.
In the New Testament.
But also there's some people argue that those pigs were obliterated because they ran into the sea. Yeah. So
because it goes on to say that all things are made clean for us to eat. Not everything's permissible.
There's that as well. So to each his own, really.
Yes, exactly. So that's, you see, it boils down to the fact that you have your right ends where your nose ends. Don't go reaching into somebody's own problem.
That one.
Your comments on your right ends where your nose ends. So as far as the way it ends, the tip of
mind your business.
But maybe there is not gonna do that.
Because I mean
that's true though.
Pork fat is really like it burns. Is a better fat than the ones in cow meat and other ones.
Oh, pork fat?
Yeah, because if you look at it, the boiling rate, you boil the two of them, right? One solidifies.
That's the goat.
Yes, it solidifies the cow
When
and
it
solidifies. It
cools.
comes high, it cools, it becomes hard and all
Yeah.
that. But with the other one, it sort of still maintains it. So it's easy for your body to get rid of that.
Let me bury bacon.
That's why you
in
grill
it.
it.
Maybe small
I
bacon.
like the grilling. I like the grilling. But you grill it and all of a sudden nothing else is left.
Yeah. You can
Everything's
grill
bare,
the
you can
blood
bend them
away.
off.
Yeah.
Okay, so Doc,
Oh.
one last thing I wanted to know with the melanin.
But please be wary of tapeworm when you're dealing with pork. It has to be really, really done well, cooked well, because
Okay.
tapeworm tends to hide in there.
Okay.
Right,
So as I was saying, with the melanin, too much exposure to sun, right? It keeps on going on. Can it lose the ability to protect you?
No, it doesn't.
So it's always going to
It's
protect you.
The more,
where does
the
skin
more
cancer-
you expose yourself to the sun, the more it's going to trigger more production of it.
Oh, so that's why you become darker,
That's
obviously.
why you become dark.
That's why they're toning down to white people.
So why do people
That's
use...
why the sun,
Tanning.
the
So-
tanning,
The
sorry. I
tan-
said
Wait,
toning.
so why do
The
people use
tanning, that's the-
sunscreen then? Because I'm trying to...
Sunscreen
understand.
protects you against all the other elements that you are taking.
Not
you are
just the sun.
The sun is giving you vitamin D. It's giving you all sorts of.
Yeah, but it's
things.
also UV
It's
radiation
giving you
distraction.
yes, very high levels of
UV radiation.
ultraviolet lights and other stuff that are damaging. So once you are getting benefit, there's also downside. So, there
So
needs
you
to be
should
moderation.
minimize...
Your exposure. Yeah.
Obviously. Okay,
but-
okay.
To
That's
the
what I
sun.
wanted to know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because the best sun you get is, I think, from morning to like about 9.
Yeah.
That's the best one
That's
you can
the
get.
vitamin.
Yeah,
Okay.
the rest of it is
Yeah, that's what I wanted.
The rest of it is for drying clothes.
Hey.
You know what he said? He said,
The rest of it is for drying clothes.
the 6 to 9 is for human beings. The rest for drying clothes. When you get to 10 to 12, the 12 midday one is for drying corn.
The working boys work for the Raka.
Honestly. But also, Doc, for clarity, right? Some people, I've heard it said a few
That one, you
times.
need glasses.
People say that people say that
You know,
black
you said
people.
for clarity. I say you need glasses.
Okay. Should I? People say that dark people don't need sunscreen, and I try and explain that regardless of how
isn't there there's a code on
dark
it.
you are.
I think there's a code
Yes,
on sunscreen.
there's 25, there's
yeah, so the
50,
one,
there's
I think the darker you are,
75.
there's one that is
There's
for
100.
it even depends on which part of the country you are, the world you are in. If you're in
Yeah.
Australia, I think you need a stronger one.
It's potency.
Yeah,
as
potency and all that. So you see, I mean, one day you have to find time on your platform and talk
And
about
explain
explain why sunscreen. Maybe bring like 4 different types of them and tell them what because
I think it's really important.
because I'm dark. But I realized that when I spent time in Asia in a colder region, parts of China for a while, I became my darkness was a bit toned back.
Yeah.
So when I arrived in Ghana, as compared to some of my siblings, I looked like I'm fair.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Then I stayed longer here. Then I realized that, nah, bruh.
It's back.
Bro, I need to go get lighter, bro. I don't know,
Looking for a
like,
sunscreen to show you in case you want advice.
Hey, no
Just
be easy,
bleach. You
oh.
can bleach the skin in any way.
There's a chemical inside creams that bleach.
So Jay, you work on sunscreen.
I haven't used it. It was part of a
no
box
package.
gifts
Oh, okay.
items that
No
was
easy.
shared.
I
But
don't know the
I
chemical
kind
you're
of
talking about.
I was worried a bit because I was
No
afraid that maybe if
easy,
I start squeeze blocking sun rays, because I believe in space and things a lot, Yeah.
Wahala for us.
So for me, I believe that I want to be exposed to the universe directly. So I don't want any block anywhere.
Okay,
Yeah.
so if you have a cream,
Yeah,
if you have a
stuff
cream,
like-
you are buying a cream, please read for this. If you have hydroquinone inside, don't.
Hydroquinone, that's what I was trying to
Mercury
remember.
and steroids, these 3. Hydroquinone, mercury. No, it's mercury of they even don't write the mercury, they write the chemical name.
So these things are good or not good?
What's chemical name for mercury?
No.
Oh man, I don't remember.
Hydragurum. Isn't hydragurum?
Mention it.
It's hydragurum, or?
What?
Chemical name for mercury.
Mercury.
I think HG.
Yeah.
Anything with concern science, count
It's
me out.
definitely not gluteus maximus, so please don't even
Bro. Gluteus
Yeah,
maximus.
it's hydragurum. HG. Yes.
HG.
Yeah, hydragurum.
HG.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, that's
okay.
Mercury's. Yeah.
Ah, the umbrella is
Hey.
Charlie, look, we tire for those things. We let them,
so these are so that's the 3 things people
Yeah.
should. I think people
Yeah.
buy creams for. Somebody was explaining to me that there's
But
a
they
cream
won't
used
look
to
out
buy,
for
but
it
they are
because
fixed.
they are
They are fixed in the
choosing-
system. You
So
see some of the
imagine
popular
you're
ones.
buying-
You know, something creams like Palmer's and things. People are copying the fake ones
Yeah.
are in there.
So fake creams here, baby.
I mean, the people are choosing 500.
So please, why don't we just go back to our shea butters? Why don't you go back to our oils, our
Oh.
natural oils?
Because it's not trendy. Because you laugh at it. Because you say Sokoto Budali.
Because when you share butter and it's very, very raw, people say that I smell it.
Oh, I use this one.
Hey, then this one, guys,
I use palm.
Yes.
I fried.
Yes.
I did a stew with palm kernel oil yesterday, and my neighbors came asking. They're like, "It's been a while. It's like
Smells
smell something like
that.
that." And like, where did I get it? And I was like, This is what we should be taking, not the. What about the white man producing?
Doc.
Us too.
Doc, wait. Doc, stop. Wow. Yeah, I
knew you said that. But when was the last time you tried the palm kernel, like fried potatoes, or like they used to fry potatoes?
Long.
had potatoes.
Was that the Chinese?
Really long, yeah.
Was that the Chinese?
Was it? I think palm kernel was coconut oil was there.
Fried rice.
Those times they'll do the pepper, they'll grind the pepper.
Some people even cook with shea butter.
Yeah. People fry eggs with it.
Yeah.
Our time is up. I mean, I practiced something healthy as well. I had sausages, but I didn't fry them. I just put them in the oven and I just.
Oh, you oven? Oh, okay.
Yeah, you know.
Wow, genius.
No.
Did you go with a salad?
No, it was just that, you know. And,
I
also tried something healthy.
What did you?
Air.
So everybody say what healthy thing did you do?
Yeah, I slept, bro.
I slept. How many hours?
I slept 7-8 hours.
Oh, that's good. So that's something healthy. What do you do?
I drank 2
jars of water. Okay.
If you grill it small, like.
Nice there.
So I ate a bowl of salad. I wanted to eat fufu last night, but I chose salad instead.
Wow.
I was eating and regretting. I was eating a salad and regretting.
Try. We're wrapping up, but then if so,
so that's what you should do now. Team music is doing now. Team music is doing now. Now we are doing. You have to say something that you did healthy.
Hey, dog, I sound.
The writings that they said it somehow. No. I mean, our viewers and our listeners have to write it on our socials.
It's over.
You want Cyril's healthy eats for today?
Okay, for the next 5 minutes, they took mine. You took my salad. You took my water.
You have to. We are doing a healthy year.
Well,
a healthy year. You know,
healthy year.
That's a healthy year.
Okay, Doc, I like.
So
your
you chose
initiative.
water. It's good.
Yeah.
Maybe you can eat your fufu and still be drinking water.
Doc, I like your initiative. I think we'll take it on and we'll all try and practice
something healthy. Go for a walk. Go for a jog.
Before we do that, today I want to see if we can tell it to you. You will chop this thing, banku and
also the way the hunger feels swallow my pride. So
we'll break it today. Today we'll cheat small.
But there's nothing wrong with banku.
Also we'll start tomorrow.
I didn't say there's nothing wrong with banku.
Tomorrow, good initiative start tomorrow. I don't know if you've heard that.
We'll start tomorrow.
So today no club.
Today we'll destroy
the green bottle.
Yeah.
We'll start tomorrow.
Is Chinese healthy fried rice? It's okay.
Yeah, it's good.
I can eat.
Yeah, it's good.
Okay, and yeah.
I see the speed at which they do it. I see the way they do it.
Carbohydrates.
I see the speed at which they do it. It's not our level of fried rice. It's like
really fast.
It's really fast. So the vegetables are all crunchy and all that. Stir fry.
Yeah. Okay, and then that's good.
But I thought you cook at home.
Oh, I used to during the COVID time.
But I noticed that we should bring back COVID. It wasn't worth it. We will bring that back for your house.
Yeah, it wasn't worth it.
The person who's cooking that wasn't worth it. Please just
it wasn't worth it.
Let's
spend all this time. Hey, viewers, our time is up and we are going, but I can't waste all this time cooking and chasing and cook. Then you spend 2 minutes. Go and buy and use that thing. Let me get there.
Why is he upset? Maybe the food was not nice and he doesn't want to say it.
He disappointed himself.
Hey,
he finished and he was like,
Lenny, don't go there.
Are you a chef?
My cooking.
You start from tomorrow. Tomorrow
bring egg.
After what he did with FIFA,
Same energy.
Lenny, when he's coming tomorrow,
after what he did with FIFA,
tomorrow egg, let's taste.
Jay, like I go defend them, but after what he did with FIFA, I share 5-1.
Let's start with boiled egg.
You share the fish and the fried bread.
Let's start with boiled egg.
Viewers, their mics are off. Doc, thank you so very much for everything. We're back here again tomorrow. Conversation has been great. There's a lot we've learned today. But most importantly, watch out tomorrow evening, 8 p.m. Just Vibes goes live. It's Jay, Cyril, Lenny, Jason, and Dr. Chris, and we out.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Culture Daily was brought to you by Telecel.